Hello, hello. It is the 27th of September 2020, and I am burning some Palo Santo with lavender. I prefer this technique. And I got it really burning finally, but I had to use a barbecue lighter. I could feel last night after my husband dropped a knife on his foot. He was making some delicious gumbo, and it was delicious, his best ever. But the energy was just off. There was a lot of things happening that were just, I could feel it. So I got this out, and it really, I hate to sound woo-woo, but it really does have there's a a cleansing effect. And because I'm going to be reading about Ghislaine Maxwell and a lot of the other things I read about, which are pretty, there's a lot of negativity to it, and it can leave a residue, shall we say. So it is wise to use some means, whatever works for you. Some people like to use sage. I believe I can leave that to other people. I prefer the smell of Palo Santo, and it just, I don't know, it jives with me. So anyway, and you don't need a big whopping stick. This stuff last you a lifetime. Anyways, there's that. So I decided to use the Haunted House Tarot for Ghislaine. Let's get into it. I want to see why she did it. This has been requested by a viewer, and I also want to see her safety, because in the past, a long time ago, when I read on Jeffrey Epstein, I can't remember if it was on camera or not. I don't think it was, but I did see that she could potentially end up meeting the same fate, which is to say that I think that he was murdered. When you have that many people of power and wealth in the world that have utilized your sources, you can, your resources, shall we say, you can end up dead. And I believe that when you mess with the royal family and people of that level of power, they have power behind them that will sort you out. Not a joke. And I believe that's what happened to Epstein. Definitely. And I believe that Barr and Trump are behind his death. Now, Ghislaine, and that's how you say your name. In case you're curious, I looked it up. I double checked. Ghislaine. It's Ghislaine. I don't know. Well, so let's look at the future of Ghislaine. And why she agreed to participate in this sick codependent relationship that she had with Jeffrey Epstein. That's the question. So I'll hit that one first, and then I might do a second part. I'll do a second part on her safety. Because I have a feeling, just trying to look at her psychology, and I have the Enchanted Woods Lenormand, Petite Lenormand, for clarification, as well as the Synchronicity deck by Kathy Nichols, just in case. But first, let's look at why did she get involved with Epstein? I asked the Creator and I asked my ancestors to help me read these symbols accurately. And I pray that I can, just relate it faithfully as to what they want to share. Okay. So I asked the Spirit of the Tarot, and I asked my ancestors and the Creator to help me with my reading and relay why Ghislaine got involved with someone like Epstein. Now, her father was no gem. Her father was weird. But why did she go that route? I mean, she came from a well-to-do family. But you know, Epstein was able to hook his way into these people's lives because he was not from wealth, but he wanted it and he got it, but through the most dark manner possible. So why did Ghislaine, why did she get involved with Jeffrey Epstein? Okay. We get the sun, so this is a sign of clarity and some kind of goal. Tending to details. And she was kind of like his personal assistant. His personal, she kept track of things. And there's definitely a feeling with that here. There was some kind of goal that they had in doing what they were doing. And I believe it was financial. Blackmail. And I think also because people were paying them, I don't think they just threw down invites without some kind of compensation, because that wouldn't keep people coming back. There had to have been some kind of financial transaction with people that were involved in using the minors in a sexual setting. So it's financial. I'm seeing some kind of a financial goal as to why. So it was like building up to a greater goal of something to do with power and money. That's simple. Greed. And greed for power. And to be in this, I think, wealthy echelon that is untouchable. Yeah. Independent wealth. Independent wealth. That's why. Independent wealth of her father's or family money. For herself. This was for herself. And I think she wanted to prove to herself as well that she was capable of earning this goal of power and wealth. She wanted to be independently wealthy herself. Maybe, I don't know how much money her father left her and relatives, but I see this as being about herself and her own ability to be financially, yes, the creator of her wealth. But the magician comes out and can be a warped creator, if you will. If you use your will in the wrong way, in a manipulative way, that's cruel. And clearly it looks like she was willing to do this for money. She has two cards to do with, I think, power in society and in the world, and personal wealth for herself, and personal power that isn't from or through her father, I think, is on her own effort. Ugh. I just can't with these people. Now, it looks like she's both a manipulator and possibly someone that's manipulated. But here I'm feeling, nah. She was fully invested in what she was doing. This wasn't a Jeffrey made me do it. It appealed to her personally because of the power and the money she could achieve in the end through some kind of independent means of away from family wealth. This is for her, something for herself. This is also a card, the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Coins falls under also the Sun. A long-going, steady effort. This was no short, quick thing that she did. This went on for a significant amount of time with this Knight, because it's steady, work, putting effort in, and being committed to that goal. So, and this is the Wheel of Fortune. Over time, again, we're being given time, a cycle of time, and being shown that this was no short amount of time. This was something she really invested herself into for power and for one of independent wealth. And she worried about what she was doing. So this shows consciousness of guilt. This shows that she knows it was wrong. And she's worried, I'd say, about her own personal wealth and power. Yes. That was where the satisfaction was. But it shows that it started, there's manipulation that goes very dark with the Moon. And the Ace of Cups in this picture. This to me feels like the pleasure aspect. And I think she did worry about getting in trouble someday for it. But it went on for some time. Tower. This is the King of Wands. Six of Pentacles. That's some kind of assistance or help. And the Eight of Pentacles. Just to recap, this question is, why did Ghislaine Maxwell ever agree to get involved with someone like Epstein? What was in it for her? Why did she do it? And quite clearly, it shows what the Sun is saying. I'm exposing the aspect of her desire for personal wealth and money and power. She wanted to live a very good life, and something that she could say in her own mind that she earned herself. Never mind the fact that it's off the misery of minors that are being basically raped. And she was willing to play the part of the magician. She was willing to create this, to co-create what they did. She was a big active creator in this. So don't go away thinking that Jeffrey was the pinnacle. He was the focus, but he was not in the pinnacle alone. And as far as who was involved in this arrangement, she was very active as a person that was creating this situation alongside Jeffrey to earn money and power. She did it basically the same reason he was doing it, or a similar reason, and that is she also wanted wealth for herself and some kind of personal power amongst peers who are wealthy. Maybe she didn't have the more of the personal power, though she had the money. This is also about power among the wealthy. But it shows that though she worked hard and put herself to this task of doing what he wanted, and this whole involvement with recruiting, and there's, with the Wheel of Fortune, I also feel there's their travel, all of this, there's also change. And I think the longer it went on, she may have become more and more worried that it would get exposed or something would happen. There's just so much invested emotionally also. She wanted to please him. She was suckered into being a Jeffrey pleaser. She definitely wanted this power, wanted this wealth, but she also worried, I believe, on an intuitive level, on an emotional level, about getting in trouble for it, that it might one day come home to roost. So there's a great deal of worry there, but she was willing to do it for a length of time. And the Tower, this to me is her final outcome. It looks like there could be help, or this is money actually exchange. That's what I started off saying initially. This exchange of money, the wealthy exchanging money for this activity over and over again here. Over and over again. There's a man, fire sign, potentially, who I believe was involved in her ring with Jeffrey. I think he's probably someone that's going to get exposed. There's a cycle of time, and they're waiting to drop some kind of exposure. I don't know if they're going to say, hey, Ghislaine, we'll give you a deal if you rat out or you give us the information about this particular man. Maybe that's something Barr will try and do. I'm not sure. Um, but I feel like there's something really unexpected surprise coming for a man of a fire sign who I think engaged in using their services maybe several times. Because this Six of Pentacles to me really feels like in this instance that this is money that's being exchanged for sexual activity with minors to them. Now this could be Epstein here, though he was an air sign, but I don't think so. I think this is into the future, and I think this is somebody yet that has yet to have their name really go public in a way that says that they were there and they paid a lot of money, or they paid a certain sum of money. It would be like a similar sum over and over again. I almost feel like I'm seeing like a bill of sale, and I'm seeing a certain amount that you would see charged over and over again. Who is this King of Wands? I feel like this is my future lane, if you will, my future row. And this is the past and the present in the middle. You know, now she's really worried. And she has been worried, like I said. But she, you know, she's no innocent led astray. She was very much aware of what she was doing, I'm shown, with the Sun and the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles and the Magician. And she was very manipulative, and she was very conscious that she was being manipulative. She was not being manipulated. I see worry for herself. This was all a selfish pursuit, and that's why she engaged in it. Two more cards. Ace of Swords and the Ten of Swords. It leads to a painful end. And there is clarity. You know, what she did and was involved in is exposed, and it ruins her. It ruins her life. This involvement ruins her life. It's no coming back from this. The question is, does she stay alive? Because there's concern that she could meet a similar fate as to Epstein. Confinement and, look, 2 8s and the 8 of Wands. And there's target. Ooh. I don't know if she could get targeted in prison. This is a little concerning here. Two of Cups. There's an agreement. And the Empress. Oh, wow. She could be being targeted by a woman? There's an agreement. Eight of Cups. 5 of Wands. There's confusion here. There's something again of some kind of violence or some kind of attack, some kind of arguing or scuffle. And we get that Eight of Cups again, where there's that kind of that confused, muddled feeling, and where we're not quite sure how something comes about. God. Three of Pentacles and Three of Cups. 2 8s and 2 3s. There's some kind of, there's more than one person involved. And I get another hint at three heads or 3 people. And there's something that goes on that they feel satisfied with as a result. Sense of celebration there. There's more than one person at work, and it looks like coming for her, or connection to this violence or some kind of attack. She's going to, oh man, she's not going to be in a good position. If this was somebody I actually cared about, and I can only say that as I can give her the modicum of as a human being, boy, what a mistake did you make, sister. She's going to be fighting for her life and under a tremendous deal of stress. And I believe that's because somebody's trying to get to her. I think she's going to have a similar situation going on, potentially, like Epstein did. I'm seeing similar cards. I'm getting the Page of Swords and the 6 of Wands. This is like spy. This is somebody that's watching. And I feel like is a lookout. And they're drawing attention away, or they're drawing attention to themselves as being successful. Wanting... So this could be a diversion of some kind, even at the time of when she's having some kind of difficulty while, I think, being in prison. This is that feeling of like insider activity. 2 of Pentacles and a Queen of Cups. I don't get death right there, but I do see potentiality that she does a similar pattern as Epstein. I feel like there could be an attack. And this fighting may not just be symbolic of litigation. Now, certainly litigation-wise, she's sunk. But this feels more like a personal pressure and more like a struggle up against physically. And it could come through, I don't know, maybe a woman will be the one that they send in that can, yeah, this doesn't look so great for her. We get the Moon and we get the Hermit. She's going to end up feeling very alone and vulnerable. And I also feel like there's somebody coming for her. And I think a woman is perhaps going to be used for, I think she's going to end up either very ill or very still, and someone's happy about it. That's just... She's making some sort of... Now this is, to me, this is Ghislaine. She is a Capricorn. And this is the Knight of Cups. Now, either this is an offering that's being made to her, or she might be making an offer herself. I don't know if this is like a plea or some kind of attempt, or something coming to her, an offer that's going to be come to her. I don't know. Maybe did they make an offer to Jeffrey and he didn't agree and then he got snuffed? I don't know. It just doesn't look good for her. In the world outside, they don't want her to ever get a chance, I think, of being able to use information that would expose people in power. I do think with that 9, again, she will get roughed up. I do think she physically gets roughed up in prison. And I think it's connected to an offer that comes then afterward, as maybe it is, the roughing up is an encouragement to take a certain offer, or to offer some kind of, I don't know, information. There's the King of Pentacles, and there's Judgment about the past. Judgment about one's behavior. This could be a judge. Ruling, or some kind of ruling coming in that she's, to do with her behavior with Epstein. And there 5, there's a sense of futility, and 7 of Swords, she's got to watch her back. Wow. And she knows it. And it's stressing her out. I get the Page of Cups and a Queen of Wands. And then I get some kind of secretive ending, or radical change, or death. I'm going with some kind of death. This is further down the road yet. This woman could be being utilized, or puts word out. She could be a powerful person that says, I don't want the secrets coming out. Kill her. I'm not sure. Or this could be someone that's talking about a secretive death, or brings it up. That's possible too. But I don't think, once again, I get really hinky cards about the concern of the length of her life behind bars. So she did it for personal power and money, for herself. That's the reading on Ghislaine, and I do think she could definitely get roughed up in prison and quite possibly end up in a secretive, strange passing mode as well. So that's what I have to offer you on this Sunday in September, the 27th, 2020. And I hope that you're having a good Sunday. I'm going to do, I think, maybe one more reading, and then I'm just going to chill. See you in the next video. Please make sure you like and subscribe. And thank you for your time.